Hello, my name is Rachel Abba, and I'm a courage mentor to high achieving women who seek clarity to make meaningful decisions that feel life affirming. And I just want to start off by saying thank you for having me here. Thank you for this opportunity. I feel deeply grateful and a little bit nervous to be doing this. I feel really proud that I said yes to myself and I did this anyway without knowing exactly how it was going to turn out. Here I am. I'm showing up. I'm showing up for myself. I'm showing up for you. And I truly believe that this can be a wonderful experience and where I get to share some insights and invite you to join me on this journey. Okay, so today I'll be talking about clarity. And for me, just a little bit about my background. I'm a founding member of Immigrant Women in Business. I'm also a director at Toronto Growth and Grind Network, where a lot of my work is about supporting women, especially immigrants, in their journey of becoming autonomous, right? Becoming independent and self sufficient. I also work with women and children fleeing domestic violence. And so this is all part of the work and an extension of my own personal journey as well of saying yes to myself and seeking learning and information in order to make decisions that feel meaningful, that feel as if I'm honoring myself and moving myself forward to be able to contribute on a higher level. And so, in starting with clarity, there are two kinds I've found. There's negative clarity. Let's start with negative clarity. And negative clarity can look like low self esteem. Negative clarity can look like self defeating habits. And I know from my personal experience, negative clarity is clarity nonetheless. The difference is that you're very clear on what you think you're not. You're very clear about not feeling worthy. You're very clear about not deserving that opportunity. You have deep clarity about how you're going to fail and how every other time you've attempted something, it just doesn't work out, right? So you're clear that, maybe you're not the marrying kind. You have these clarity conversations with yourself that are not holding you high. And so for me, especially when the negative clarity is typically on the outside, I'm looking outside of myself. I'm looking for validation outside of myself. And I begin to doubt and question in a way that, again, is self defeating, where I basically make decisions that are for the benefit of other people, but not necessarily for myself. And so, with making those clear decisions around marry someone who loves you more than you love them, take that job because you've got bills, and hey, you don't have to be happy about it, just it's a paycheck. The way, negative clarity is about bargaining my way down. And I don't know if this resonates with any of you out there, but this is what negative clarity can look like. You're clear that your life isn't going anywhere. You're clear that this is just the way it is. This is your lot in life, and you just get to make the best of it. Same old, same old. Okay? So this got me into many situations where incrementally, saying yes to a marriage proposal to someone that might not necessarily have been the best fit for me, not because there was anything wrong with them, but rather it just wasn't the best fit because I was saying yes out of fear. Fear of maybe disappointing my family, or fear of never finding anybody else, or fear of not being enough. And so these were the decisions I made. And how you're being in one area, I truly believe, is how you're being in all areas. So once I began to betray myself in this one area, I also started doing it in other areas in my career, making decisions of, not taking that promotion because I want peace, not having enough time, or it might require me to level up in a way that might feel uncomfortable. So play small. So I had great clarity around playing small. That's what negative clarity can look like. Low self esteem. Should you have asked me if I had low self esteem, if I was betraying myself? I would say no. I was being logical. I was being responsible. I was being a good woman. I was being a lot of things. And I bargained it. It made perfect sense. It always makes sense. It's always reasonable and logical. And, and that's how I ended up compromising myself, compromising my finances, compromising my health, compromising my joy, compromising everything. It was a ripple effect, which inevitably brought me to a point where I was on my knees and I was not happy with my life. And then I started to look inward and ask myself some radically honest questions about who I was being, what I wanted to create, what am I capable of? Is this all there is? That began the journey of going into therapy, seeking out a therapist and doing my work, going on that hero's journey, if you will, of self-reflection and reckoning. And admitting to myself that I had not been great to myself. I had prioritized other people's comfort and happiness above my own. And that was not creating positive results for myself. And in a way, betraying others around me too, because if I'm not being my best, I'm not being my highest self, then others are being robbed of that too. And my contributions are not on a level of integrity because I'm out of integrity with myself. These were conversations I got to have with myself, which brings me to positive clarity. And in that reflection, positive clarity became realizing that, wait a second, if I can get through and still be standing after 14 years of betraying myself and I'm still standing and I'm still in the game, then what can't I go through? What on the other end that I think I'm not enough for? If I'm capable of going through the immigrant journey of going from West Africa to Great Britain to now Canada, what can't I do? What can't I rebuild? If I can go through a 14-year relationship and still be standing and still have the possibility of a brighter future ahead of me, then I'm in the game. I'm worthy. I can do this. So why not bet on yourself? Because in all of these things, I have been the common denominator in my life. So why not bet on myself? Going through a layoff where I didn't know where my next dollar was coming from, and yet I'm still here. I'm still standing. Then what risk can I not take exactly? And what am I losing? So then I got to ask myself the question. This is a question I ask clients to ask themselves. I invite them to ask themselves is, who benefits the most from the decisions that you make? Is it you? Others? If so, who? Who benefits the most from the decisions that you make in your life? And then I got to ask the other question, which I also invite clients to ask is, what do you want? So now with positive clarity of looking at my circumstances for what they are, not what I fear they are or what they might not be, looking at them for what they are and knowing that I can trust myself because here I am still. Whatever decision I make, it gets to feel life affirming. It gets to light my soul on fire. and get me to the next level because there's more. I am worthy of more. And I truly believe so are you. And so the invitation here is in positive clarity, also, there are few things that I required. So therapy and at least going to someone who has the capacity to hold you high even when you have a low esteem of yourself. Surrounding myself with a community of like-minded people who are also doing their work, who are also striving, who are also clear about a vision that is yet to be realized, and yet they're building towards that. A community of like-minded people, people who are growth-minded, right? They have a growth mindset. People who are about contribution, connection, because you don't get to do this alone and remain, at your best, thriving. The third thing I would say is in terms of the contribution. So it's one thing to reflect and connect with yourself. It's another to then create a community around you, or at least place yourself in an environment that is conducive to what it is you want to build and see and experience in your life that feels life affirming. Other people who will hold you high as you make those decisions. Sounding boards that are giving you encouragement, not from a place of fear, but from a place of love. And then getting into committed practice where you have and you create opportunities where you're able to contribute. You're able to create. You're able to get in there and practice. Okay, so the reflection, community, and then contribution in practice. And you get out there and you do the things. This has been my journey. And this is what, these are just three areas where I encourage you to look at, because either way, whatever clarity lenses you're wearing, you get the results. And I got the results that reflected my beliefs. And so sometimes I wasn't even required to do anything different. I just got to put myself in spaces and places and in the company of people who would shift my energy. Because sometimes I didn't feel as if I had enough energy even to blink. So sometimes it's just shifting your environment, shifting your community, shifting your company to make the next decision that can feel life affirming. And whatever decision you make, and you look at it and you know that it is not doing harm to others, it is nourishing you and lighting your soul on fire, then you get to give yourself permission to take that next step, to have that next conversation, to say yes to that next thing, because really you're betting on yourself. And so whether it be positive or negative clarity, you're right. However, what you think of yourself, you're absolutely correct, because that's what you get to create. I'm inviting you and encouraging you to know that you are worthy, to know that there's nothing out there that is bigger than you, that can overcome you, should you choose powerfully to make decisions that feel life affirming to you. I see you and I honor you, and I believe in you. Go out there and create and be your whole and full authentic self.